During my review for the Order 1886, I made a promise to also put out a video this week for Until Dawn, and that is what this video is going to be about. It's going to be my review of Supermassive Games and Sony's PS4 exclusive Until Dawn. What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. And before we get into my thoughts about Until Dawn, I just wanted to make everybody aware that I posted 2 videos today. I found both of them pretty interesting. One is about the Xbox One X Standard Edition pre-orders. I see claims everywhere that it's sold out online, so I looked for myself, and the results may surprise you, so check that one out. As well as the info that came out today, or yesterday, about EA trying to destroy and sabotage Slightly Mad Studios, the devs of Project Cars 2. So if you have time, you haven't seen those videos yet, go check them out. But let's get into what I thought about Until Dawn. And I'm just going to kind of read off the summary here really quick, because sometimes I like to do that. Summary basically goes, when 8 friends are trapped on a remote mountain getaway gone wrong, things quickly turn sinister, and they start to suspect they aren't alone. Gripped by fear, and with tensions in the group running high, you'll be forced to make snap decisions that could mean life or death for everyone involved. Every choice you make while playing as each of the 8 friends, even the seemingly trivial ones, will carve out your own unique story. So let's talk about that summary right there, and that pretty much turns out to be true. This game lives up to basically the summary, the description of Until Dawn. And man, I gotta say, I was kind of blown away by playing this. Now, you guys know I do like my story games. I am a fan of the walking simulator genre. I'm a fan of the Telltale style game, and Until Dawn is just like that. It basically is the Telltale style formula. Until Dawn is more a story than it is a game. Like you said, you control a rotating cast of 8 characters, all trying to basically survive until dawn. Some of the characters you won't like, and some of them you will. Like, I particularly liked Sam, and eventually I ended up liking Mike. I didn't care for Josh, and I didn't really care for Jessica, but all the characters are well realized, and they're brought to life by good voice acting by Hayden Panettiere, and even Peter Stormare, who plays the analyst, which is a pretty cool segment we'll talk about a little bit. So those characters in the script bring the game to life. And Supermassive, they taken the Telltale formula, and they have polished it to a AAA shine, right? Because the Telltale games, they're a little comic booky. They don't look that well. But man, this game looks awesome. Like, it looks really good. The outstanding visuals, you know, the performance of the cast itself, and the score all bring the characters, the environments, and the tribulations that, you know, the life and death situations that they go through. They basically outdid Telltale. And this, you know, I still enjoy Tales from the Borderlands. I still think that's Telltale's best game. But Until Dawn is right there, if not higher than that. I enjoyed my time with it. So the game is set up into chapters. There are 10 chapters. Each chapter represents an hour of time in the real world. And what's really cool about it is you'll play as one character for 20 minutes, and then you'll switch to another character. And then you play as them for a little bit, and then you'll switch to another character. And at the end of an hour, the episode ends. And at least for the first few chapters, you switch to Peter Stormare's character, the analyst, which is something I really enjoyed because he's talking to a nameless figure, and you make choices, who you like, who you don't like. And it feels very reminiscent of being in a psychiatrist's office. I really enjoyed those. The only thing, like, I kind of didn't like about all that is the game is set up in this, like, episodic format. It almost feels like this game was originally designed to be, like, 10 episodes, because every time the hour ends and the new hour starts, you get, like, you know, what happened previously on Until Dawn, and they just show you a recap of what's happened. It's like, but dude, I've been playing the game, like, non-stop. I know what's going on. I haven't stopped. You know, I don't like it when non-episodic games kind of try to do that episodic format. It just kind of takes me out of it. It's like, just keep on going. You know, you don't have to do the whole, you know, what's next on Until Dawn or previously or whatever, right? So that's basic story. The gameplay is simple. You walk around, a creepy house or the woods with the snow that's just falling everywhere, and you can hear the sounds. You explore a mine or a crazy sanatorium, and you go from point A to point B, and in between there, you trigger cutscenes, which then you can choose kind of emotions or things to say, usually one of two, by pressing left or right on the D-pad, and then sometimes you'll get these QTE segments, which require fast movements on the D-pad by either hitting the square, triangle, or circle, and then even sometimes you'll have a don't move thing, especially when your character is, something is like crawling down their neck and they're about to kill them. You gotta stay still. And the thing I really like about this game is the butterfly effect. Each of your decisions that you make actually has an impact, because any one of the 8 characters as you play as can die. So when you're doing these QTE segments and there's an option to hide or go straight ahead, the option to go straight ahead might result in your character getting killed off and gone for the rest of the story. That is pretty interesting and way more involved than any Telltale stuff that they do. And also, when you walk around, there's a mystery to uncover, right? And, I might get into some spoiler stuff here. It depends on how much I want to talk about the actual story itself. Just beware if you haven't played it. I know a lot of people have the game because it's been free on PSN, so just be wary. I might spoil some stuff. There's a mystery going on here, because you come back to this lodge after a year where 2 of your friends have gone missing, right? And there's this maniac terrorizing your friends, but there's clues all around. So in between going from point A to point B to get to the next cutscene and do the next stuff or the next QTE segment, you can uncover the mysteries of what's going on. Who exactly is the maniac? What happened to these miners that were trapped in the mine? And each one of the things you can kind of pick up and turn over. And I'm not really a fan of that. I'm not really a fan of like grabbing the thing and turning it over and looking at it. Although it's done better than it was in Until Dawn, because Until Dawn it was the Order 1886, mind you, it was done completely unnecessary. There's no reason to look at all stuff. At least in this game, there's a reason to look at it if you want to find out more about the story and what is going on. And, the story is a pretty basic horror story. There's multiple stories going on at once. I figured out who the maniac was pretty early on. You kind of know what's going on as the viewer, as the one playing it, but, the characters in the game don't know. There's this other threat beyond the maniac, beyond what the maniac's doing, that's real, that's killing people, whereas the maniac's just kind of, I'm going to try to remain spoiler free, but you'll understand what I do when I'm talking about if you've played the game. So I really like that. I like that kind of dual storytelling perspective. I liked switching back and forth between the characters, because you get a sense that, these characters are friends, and it really does matter what you say and what you do to a particular character, like Chris and Ashley. If Chris and Ashley become close, Ashley might save Chris down the road, whereas if Chris and Ashley push each other apart and they're always fighting, there's a potential for Ashley not to save Chris. So your choices, what you say, and what you do to your friends matters in the long run, and that is really cool. And also, like, when you can look at the butterfly effect itself, like there's this little icon in the menus with the little butterfly, and it says, so-and-so found this, and then later on, like, it'll be like, so-and-so didn't do this or did do this. I think that was pretty cool, and I really liked looking at that. And among the other things when you collect stuff, is you get these totems. And these totems give a glimpse of what is going on in the world. Like, potential futures, whether it's a character's death or whether it's a good fortune, but just things to watch out for. And I was always on the lookout for those, because I wanted to keep my characters alive. And out of the 8 characters that I played the game with, 2 of them died. So I got 6 of them out, 2 of them died, which I think is pretty good. And I have no clue how to save one of the characters. Like, I was like, okay, I must have made a wrong decision way back in the past, because I have no idea how I could have saved them. The other character, I think I know why that person died. But I've replayed a couple sections, and you can lose all the characters. Like, if you fail some of the QTE events, you'll get killed. If you're not nice to other people, you'll get killed. Or you can kill people. And so, like, the QTA segments are really good in this game. They're really good because you have to do them fast. You have to do them quick. And there are consequences to your actions, which is what matters, which is probably the problem with the Telltale games lately, right? Is that there doesn't feel like there's any consequences. And in this adult story, you know, with death as part of it, it really does feel that there's consequences to your actions because your characters can die. Now, also, some of the little minor things that you might be hit or miss here is it features a lot of horror cliches, you know, arguments that characters get into that they really shouldn't get into, things they'll say that they shouldn't say when there's a killer on the loose, and there's a lot of sexual innuendos. And I know these are like teenagers, college kids, and they're all out here to have a good time and party, but some of that kind of felt more of as like, we need to throw in these horror cliches that may or may not work. Some of it does, but some of it doesn't. And now, as a horror game, the game also features quite a few jump scares. Now, I normally don't get scared by jump scares or don't even get really, you know, jumpy, but there are a couple well-designed and incredibly expertly placed jump scenes that actually got me to like move back in my seat quite a bit, right? But then there's some other stuff that was just like I kind of just rolled my eyes at. I'm like, really, who's gonna do that, you know? But the game builds its environments and all that stuff with which it's so creepy. The game is creepy, you know. The mine is really creepy. The sanatorium building actually builds up pretty good tension when you actually see what's hunting you. You know, that kind of story that kind of plays out. Like, it's really genuinely creepy in a way that I particularly really enjoyed. But the best thing about the game, like I mentioned, is the fact that I felt that my choices mattered in this adult Telltale-like game. And that was one of the reasons why I sat there the other night and I played through like 5 hours straight in this 8-hour game. So it's about 10 chapters. Chapter is about an hour long, so it might take you 8 to 10 hours depending on how you want to play through it. And you're going to want to play through the game multiple times because there's different, you know, things to see. There's clues to figure out about what's going on, and of course, who doesn't want to see all the different ways that your characters can die? Because some of that stuff is pretty damn cool. So Until Dawn actually is a great game. I am so happy that I sat down and actually devoted the time to playing it. And it's more of a story, an interactive movie than it is a game. It's obviously not in a game in the sense like Uncharted 4 or something is a game, but as a Telltale-like game, a game that I enjoyed, this is a really great one. And, you know, in that genre itself, there's a lot of competition. You know, the Telltale games were the peak, and then Life is Strange came along and, you know, I think surpassed them. And now here's Until Dawn. And honestly, I think Until Dawn is better than all those other games. I think this is, I'm not going to say the pinnacle of that Telltale game style formula, but it's right up there. I greatly enjoyed my time with the game in my 8 hours. I enjoyed all the different characters, even the ones I didn't like Josh and Jessica. Like, I kind of was like feeling for Jessica towards the end there because she went through some stuff, man. She went through some stuff. I really liked the analyst segments with Peter Stormare's character. I just thought the game was so well done, so well executed, and I can't praise Until Dawn enough, which is why I am going to give the game an 8.5. I think it's better than, you know, The Order 1886. I'm going to try to play through it again, so 8.5 is my score for the game. I think everybody out there, if you have it free on PSN Plus, or if you can get it for cheap, play this game, because it is an absolute fun time. You're going to love the kind of Saw-style choices that the game presents to you at certain points, and I really loved it. Anyways, guys, that's my review for Until Dawn. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. Share this review out on Twitter and everywhere else. Subscribe if you're new to the channel or, you know, haven't already. I don't know what you're waiting for. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.